Dear viewers, welcome to the podcast series of ICAR-NAARM. The purpose of this podcast series is to introduce the eminent agriculture scientists to have their experiences and achievements so that the viewers who see this particular interaction, they will be motivated and inspired throughout their career. Today, we are having an eminent agriculture scientist, Dr. Gurbachan Singh, former chairman of Agriculture Scientist Recruitment Board, ASRB, ICAR, New Delhi. A brief introduction about Dr. Gurbachan Singh. He is an eminent agronomist who started his career in Indian Council of Agriculture Research from 1978 onwards. His contributions towards agronomy made him to rise to the level of Assistant Director General Agronomy and then the Director, Central Soil Salinity Research Institute, Karnal. He made lot of contributions during his tenure as ADG as well as Director of CSSRA Karnal, and he has got lot of awards and laurels. To name a few, Rafi Ahmad Kidwai Award of ICAR and Hari Om Ashram Trust Award of ICAR. These contributions made him to become the Agriculture Production Commissioner of the country, during which he spearheaded many development projects for the betterment of farmers. All these contributions made him to chair the prestigious Agriculture Scientist Recruitment Board of the country, and during his tenure as a chairman ASRB, he made lot of reforms in ASRB. Especially, he made the Agriculture Scientist Recruitment Board selection process online, and he streamlined the process of career advancement scheme for the ASRB scientists. We welcome you wholeheartedly for this podcast series. Namaste.
Namaste.
Warm welcome to our podcast series of ICAR, National Academy of Agriculture Research Management. This is the podcast series for having eminent personalities and their experiences for motivating and inspiring agriculture scientists. So we are starting this podcast series with Dr. Gurbachan Singh. You, sir. Welcome to this podcast series. First of all, you are an eminent agronomist. So what made you to choose this particular discipline, and what were the contributions of you for this discipline which made you to come to the level of ADG agronomy and agriculture commissioner?
Thank you so much. Actually, after completing my master's degree from agronomy from PAU Ludhiana,
Yes.
I joined as a scientist through Agriculture Research Service examination at Central Soil Salinity Research Institute, Karnal. So most of my research was on reclamation and management of salt-affected soils. So already the institute was established about 7 years back when I joined. A lot of work was done on reclamation and management of salt effect. Then I thought, what research I should do which should be different than what is being done. So these lands, particularly alkali lands, which have very high pH, gypsum and pyrite chemicals were used for reclamation of these. Their cost was increasing. So then we thought that we should find an alternate technology. Can we use the salt tolerant trees and grasses which can grow in these soils, and over the period, through their root activity and production of carbon dioxide plus water, when water enters, we get a weak acid, so that precipitated calcium carbonate can be dissolved. So instead of applying from outside, why not to use the soil insoluble form of calcium carbonate present in the form of granules? So we did this work. My PhD is also, I had my PhD as in service. So this brought the dividends. So then we have the technology that Prosopis juliflora and Leptocloa fusca. This is a combination. If we grow these trees and grass combination, silvipastoral system, so we can reclaim these soils. So after 5 years of following this technique, so the soil is pH is reduced and many other agriculture crops can be grown. And this work, when I published in the different journals, even international journals, then world people also thought about this, that there was already information that we can reclaim, ameliorate soils by growing trees, but it was a different kind of model. Then in 1991, I got the opportunity to visit Texas A&I University, where I worked with Dr. Peter Felker, a great scientist. He was working on air-land trees and grasses. That totally changed my vision of, I went for some other purpose, like my training title was irrigation scheduling in salt lands. But I was astonished to know that how this genus Prosopis and Opuntia ficus indica, the edible cactus, is being used in Mexico, many other, so I had a lot of exposure. So when I came back, I brought that material to Central Soil Salinity Research Institute. So continued my efforts, and this edible cactus, when introduced, it was a kind of new innovation, but some work was going on at Kajri. Then our DG at that time, Dr. Prodha, he visited Central Soil Salinity Research, and we discussed. He said that we also worked at Kajri, but could not produce fruits. It's just a thing of a chance to a scientist. Then he said, Gurbachan, I will really consider if you do something that cactus comes to fruiting in India. But it was God's willing, and we did a lot of experiments. So then fruiting came. Then there was directors conference. We sent those fruits to there. The thing is that an agronomist did a research which was a kind of problem solving, and farmers participatory. So now today that cactus has become it was on Dr. Prodha's advice, it was sent to different centers, and at all our ICAR centers, this research became popular. Today, I think I never thought that it will become such a innovative idea for the country.
It was great, sir. Actually, ameliorating the soils through tree as well as this edible cactus, it is a wonderful idea. These are all the contributions it made you to go to the level of ADG agronomy. So what was your experience as ADG agronomy, and what were you contributing towards this field, sir, agronomy?
In between, I was selected as principal scientist to direct selection through ASRB, and worked at a National Research Center for Agroforestry at Jhansi. So I took all this Prosopis and cactus material along with me while and started working on these plants, because that was Bundelkhand, again a dry area, and soils are also not that productive. So established those seed orchards and started working. I worked there only for less than 2 years. I was again selected as head crop production division, Indian Grassland and Fodder Research Institute, Jhansi. And at that institute, because they are adjacent campus, I also started experiments with cactus and Prosopis so that we can develop a technology for the whole country, representing all the agro-ecoregions. It was just little more than 1 year when I was selected as Assistant Director General Agronomy at ICAR. Let me share it. I have never completed it nor in my. Before that, I used to get an opportunity The only thing was, it was like in the inside that should continue to doing some good research which can be useful for the country. So as ADG, when I joined, two things at that time were discussed, which we take credit in our NRM division. One, the climate change project I facilitated to formulate during the 10th plan. That was the 10th. Now it's a star project everywhere. Another program was the organic farming. I also facilitated formulation of the organic farming research in the country. So these were the two new programs which during my period. Another was there was a severe drought in the country. So we prepared the contingency plan, also prepared a document, drought management strategies, which was circulated to throughout the country, and that even today is being used. Two other things which I try to promote. Dr. Samra was very helpful. He was a DDG and very, very productive scientist and very practical. There are this climate change and all heat wave, cold wave. When this kind of events were coming in the country, we have produced two documents. One of when heat wave came in the country, that document is a ICAR publication. Then even the cold wave problem, it was also. Then let me say Dr. Mangala Rai ji, then DG used to tell, we encourage scientists to submit their proposals for funding. I don't exactly remember, but they used to say that why this ADG agronomy is bringing more than 100 schemes to different universities in the country. The only idea was that let young scientists, they should be started promoting from the very beginning innovation. So that I always recall that that was very, very, so I had, they used to come to me, we suggest them, come with new proposals, new projects, and funding was not a problem. But I said, Dr. Mangala in a meeting, also said that on the pattern of this division's agronomy section, the other ADG should also submit as much as the proposals. At that time, we used to have the AP CES fund scheme.
Sir, it is wonderful to hear from you your contributions as a ADG agronomy. And you told that the project you started on climate change, now it is very popular in the name of NICRA,
Yeah.
National Initiative for Climate Resilient Agriculture. And you encouraged many scientists, young scientists, to get the funding. But again, you went up to the level of director, Central Soil Salinity Research Institute at Karnal, and you had the opportunity to serve the problem-affected soils of the country. So what was your contributions and what were the challenges you faced during your director position at the CSSRA Karnal?
Actually, here is again a story. When I was selected again before completing my tenure as ADG, joined as director, I consulted so many people. I had 3 offers in my pocket at that time. One was the post of director CSSRA Karnal. Another, I was also selected as Deputy Director General, Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education, Dehradun. That was a higher post. The third one was the technical expert in the National Rainfed Area Authority. That was additional secretary level post. So director's level post was in the joint secretary level, that was in, the both were in the additional secretary. But I preferred, let me go where I started my career. There will be very few that they join the same institute in the first and then they get the chance to become a director. It was a challenge. But again, 4 head of the departments with whom I worked in CSSRI, they were still present and they get their retirement when I was the director. It was a big challenge for me. But my way of working, giving them their due and respect, all that work So it was enjoying. So at Central Soil Salinity Research Institute, the area was reclaimed. Farmers were not coming to the institute. So I thought, what should be done? Then our reclaimed area we put under seed production. I encouraged our division, you go on doing your research at the same time, go for. Then all farmers started coming to the institute. So we thought if they will come to the institute, only then we will be able to show them our reclamation work. And then the water table was going down in whole of the area. I encouraged the scientists to prepare a plan for Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, UP, that we should develop the farmer-based groundwater recharge technology. Dr. Kamra and his team, they did a lot of work, and that technology was developed, and then more than 100 recharge structures were got installed in the farmers' fields. Again, here is a history. In our natural resource management division, we have 13 institutes. You know, when we used to have the meeting, the DDG used to tell that the international funding projects at CSSRI are almost this more than what all the divisions taking together. So I tried that my scientists should be exposed to the international arena and encourage them to submit programs. So they submitted and we got the lot of funding was not a problem at CSSRI. Then one thing was, from the very, when I was ADG, I had this vision that in our country, 80% farmers cultivate less than 2 hectare land, 50% less than even 1 hectare land. How they can earn their livelihood from such small landhood? Then we established an integrated farming system model at Central Soil Salinity Research Institute. All the channels, TV channels, when it was very successful, and from there it spread throughout the country. So that was another new idea, which was so that the farmer should be independent. He should have everything at his farm, nutritional security, regular income. So that was another. The other thing it was in my mind that we should expose the scientists to different situations. Our Sundarban Center, we had an expedition, and we had a boat, sea boat, and surveyed all that area. Then after tsunami, we visited along with team in a sea, all those small villages. We visited everywhere. So that gave we prepared the report for Sri Lanka, Maldives, and all those countries. The thing is, but I felt you have to keep your scientists, your administrative staff, your technical staff, your supporting staff happy, and always trying to innovate them. When before coming to the office, I used to come seeing all the farm of the. When at 5 o'clock, I leave 15 minutes before and again go. So all my laborers and working, they were having this that the director will come, so that efficiency was also. The good thing is, whatever little I did when I was, then we established the museum, very excellent museum when I was the director. Then the central laboratory. Now that was the really people used to talk about the kind of all equipments at that time. I'm talking about 2006-7. At that time, many institutes don't have that kind of facilities. But the dividends we also got. The ICR gave the Best Institute Award to CSR during that tenure. Even the Ministry of Water Resources, they also gave the award for groundwater augmentation and recharge. So I enjoyed wherever I worked, I always enjoyed. The only thing is my always advice, be always positive. Encourage others and take along everybody and work in a team mode.
Sir, you went to the level of the prestigious Institute Agriculture Scientist Recruitment Board as a chairman, and you made a lot of reforms in the ASRB during your tenure. So, what are the traits you were looking for selecting the scientists, and as well as selecting the leaders for the leadership positions?
Yes, before that, I will just use 1 minute. From CSSRI, I was selected by UPSC as Agriculture Commissioner, Government of it. It was a very challenging job. When I joined the Secretary of the Department, P.K. Basu, I always respect him, different IAS officer. So when I joined, they said that we are not unable to increase pulses production in the country. We were standing at, I believe, 14.3 or 4 million tons ever since the independence. They gave me that you do something as Agriculture Commission, we increase our pulse production. So it was a teamwork, Secretary's advice, and my team was very good. Mukesh is no more with us, our Joint Secretary, or other staff. We made 60,000 pulses village scheme, accelerated pulses production. So I was always on the move. I never sit in the Krishi Bab. So that helped in, within 1 year, we got 15% increase in pulses production. Then it became a in the country that in 1 year, 3.5 million tons additional pulses can be produced by our country. And that is the biggest challenge, and I always take proud. Why this happened? Ministry, ICR, they were working separately. I did coordination that let us work together, starting from the Krishi Bhavan to the district level. So our KVKs and our ministry staff, they should meet, work together. And then in the 2 years I stayed there, 11 and 14 million tons of additional food grains were added. So I always feel that something has been. Now the last one, as ASRB chairman, it was again a big challenge. First thing, but we did that we have a question bank. We invited from everywhere and expanded the question bank. It was not up to the number of questions were less, it was increased 4 or 5 times. Then a revision of 56 disciplines and upgrading those disciplines, the upgrading, the kind of giving suggestions that how we can further give this. The most important was the online examination system. It was Dr. Mai's time, and I must here compliment Dr. Modail, who was our member, and another one administrative person, Mr. Sharma. They did a lot of work. We could establish that online system. It was difficult. When you select a person, so many people apply. The biggest thing what we thought was scorecard was always in question. We prepared the scorecard so that we can attract, give genuine credit to the people who are working in the system. A committee which I constituted, that Epan was the DG at that time, we involved the best person's brains, credible people, Dr. J.C. Katyal, Dr. Anupam Verma, then Dr. M.L. Madan, then even Dr. Mehta, S.L. Mehta, then our Dr. Bandyopadhyay coordinator. Excellent scorecard was brought out that made our work easy, and the right person for the right job we could select in that way. But it is very difficult. I am so happy today. The persons who were selected during that period, they are at hem of the affairs in the ICAR, in the universities at this. So that is again very credible. But you know that's a difficult job. When 10 people appear, you select one. People also say that I was the better. But again, ICAR, this ASRB never lost a legal case in any court during my tenure. That was another satisfying.
Really, it was a great contribution, sir. Finally, we would like to ask you one question. What is your message for the future young agricultural scientists?
At the start of career, you must decide in which field you want to work and work throughout. And this is people who got even Nobel Prize, or they started working on the same field. But here I think we go on changing. Second is that must work for 20 years as an active researcher before you take the management positions. The other is that when you go fast, you are an outstanding scientist, you get more enemies. Don't bother for that. Those who make complaints against you even don't respond to that unless you are asked by your seniors. So this is one thing, that this research, because our ICR is a research education organization, this is just like a opium to any person. Research is like that, always involve keep involved in research and go on publishing in good research papers. But now time has come when we need to work with the farmers. Our जो research agenda है, that should be farmer problem solving, multidisciplinary, farmers participatory research.
Thank you, sir. It is wonderful sharing of your experiences. I feel definitely your this interview will inspire and motivate the budding young agriculture scientists. Thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you so much.